Hello everyone, this is Ben from GamehuntersRUS. Welcome to what was going to be my first attempt at a vlog for the Game Hunters YouTube channel. I tried recording it, but my camera kept cutting out. It kept erasing all the videos I was trying to make. I think my camera needs a new rechargeable battery because it doesn't seem to hold a charge anymore. So anyway, I'm here to talk about the new Tomb Raider game. For the most part, this is a really good game. The gameplay is generally, it's kind of like Uncharted meets Metroid, where it's a third-person shooter with a cover mechanic. There's a bit of stealth gameplay. There's a lot of climbing around on stuff, but it's also somewhat open world. You can go back anytime. You can look around. As you get new gadgets in the game, you can open up new locations, and you can go back to older places and open stuff that you couldn't previously get into. So it's really good in that sense. So as I said, the gameplay is like Uncharted, but in some ways it works better. The environments are more open, which gives you more choice in how you approach the enemy or how you get into certain locations. It's not nearly as linear. I mean, the story's linear, but the maps aren't as linear, and that works in its favor. The stealth gameplay in particular works better than Uncharted, because in Uncharted all you can do is sneak up to someone and grab them from behind, whereas in this game you have a bow and you can shoot them from a distance. And this works fairly well. I mean, you have to make sure no one's looking at this bad guy when you shoot them, or else you'll alert them to your presence. But yeah, the stealth gameplay works better than Uncharted. The open world is also good. It's not as over the top as Uncharted either. Instead of having scenes where there's 40 or so bad guys coming at you at once, you'll rarely fight more than 5 bad guys at the exact same time. And yet, it's still challenging. At least, it can be if you play on the right difficulty level. If you're a really expert gamer, I recommend playing on hard and don't upgrade the endurance stat that increases your pain tolerance, because that way it'll still be a bit of a challenge. Anyway, the gameplay is solid. The multiplayer isn't nearly as good as the single player. It's really bare bones. The maps are kind of boring. There are really only 4 weapons you can use, and you can't use all the attachments from single player. At least as far as I know, I only played it for a couple matches. But it's kind of fun, but it's really just bare bones multiplayer, basic deathmatch modes. That's really about it. The single player is the real attraction to this game. Okay, so in terms of the storytelling, that's probably the main highlight of the game. For the first few hours, you're just trying to survive on the island. You're trying to find your friends. You're just trying to live. You're trying to run away from the bad guys who are hurting people for no apparent reason. The scene where Laura has her first kill, for the most part, is fairly well done. However, after that, it gets a little weird. Moments later, she's plowing through a dozen or so bad guys, and there's very little mention of it, save for this one cutscene where she's on the radio with a father figure. I killed some people. I had no choice. That couldn't have been easy, Laura. And that's all you get out of it. And this is never mentioned again. Although, it works better than Uncharted, because in Uncharted, even the first one, he has one quick scene where he's like, oh no, I had to kill someone. And then for the rest of the game, he's killing people front, right, and center, and joking about it. Whereas in this game, Laura doesn't joke about it, she actually sounds angry, so it works a little better. But there's this still weird disconnect where this character who's supposed to be a nice person is killing a lot of people. And this is starting to become more glaringly obvious in the last generation. Again, Uncharted is a lot worse for this, especially the third one. Other than that, the storytelling is really good. The first 2 hours really makes you hate the enemy. You want to stop them from worshipping this sun god thing or whatever. And it makes the story feel personal. And that rarely happens in video games these days. The main plot itself is also intriguing. It's interesting. The supporting cast is interesting enough. And the writing is pretty good. Now, as good as the game is, there are a couple problems. I'll start with the minor ones first. Well, first of all, the game multiplayer is bare bones, as I said. But at the same time, you can run in multiplayer while you can't in single player. Being able to run in single player would have made backtracking and exploring previous locations a little less tedious. You could move around faster. I'm pretty sure this would be an easy fix, but I don't know why they didn't allow this. There's also a little problem where once you have alerted the enemies, no matter what, they seem to instinctively be aware of your position, even if they can't see you where you're moving. And this is a problem with modern games. They should have been well past this by now. Although this is a minor complaint, because pretty much everyone gets this wrong, even Uncharted does. But the main problem with this game is towards the end of the game there's actually a game-breaking glitch, where if you do something wrong, it's impossible to progress and you have to start the game completely over. I fell into this glitch, and that's the only reason why I haven't finished it yet. I'll explain the glitch, and I'll try to avoid spoilers as much as possible. So, it's later in the game, you're on a beach, your friends are fixing a boat, there's someone going over to the crash ship for supplies. You're supposed to get this pulley thing from a boat that's stretching out from a dock pretty close to where your allies are fixing a boat. There's also this one place where you can climb up on a rock. I mean, you have to pull a boat over towards the rock, jump up, and then climb up to it. Don't do that. You're not supposed to. If you do, before you get the pulley, you will make it impossible to finish the game. You're supposed to get the pulley, go back to your allies, and then you are given a bow that can shoot rope arrows into a rock. That is how you're supposed to get up this rock that you would otherwise pull the boat up to. Now, the rock is to the left of the beach, so just don't go to the left of the beach until you get the bow that can shoot arrows into rocks. And as long as you avoid that, you should be fine. I mean, I still like the game even though I had to start it over. I recommend it to anyone who likes Uncharted. For those who don't have a PlayStation 3 and don't know what Uncharted's like, think Gears of War, except you can climb on stuff. Plus the characters have more depth, and they're more relatable than Space Marines ever can be. There's a lot of really neat attachments for your weapons there. You can get fire arrows. You get the scene where you get a grenade launcher for your assault rifle is really cool. It's kind of awesome in a glorious way. So if you like third-person shooters, or you like the Tomb Raider franchise, you should definitely check this game out. Keep in mind that there is a game-breaking glitch you should avoid. And I hope you enjoyed watching. I'll have to get a new camera battery so I can do a proper vlog next time. If you've played this game, let us know what you think. We have a Let's Play video coming up soon. Have a good day, everyone.